Yes. Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukritno arjuna arto jignyasurartati dhyani cha bharatarshava. O best among the Bharatas. O best among the Bharatas. Preeti, you're showing this. O best among the Bharatas, 4 kinds of pious men begin to render devotional service unto me. Who are they? The distressed, the desirer of wealth, the inquisitive, and he who is searching for knowledge of the absolute. So the people, I mean, the miscreants are called dushkritino, means they don't have a good dushkriti and sukriti. Sukriti means pious credit and impious, dushkriti. So here, Sukritino, or those who obey the rules and regulations of scriptures, the moral and social laws, more or less devoted to the Supreme Lord. So out of these are 4 classes of men. Those who are sometimes distressed, those who are in need of money, those who are sometimes inquisitive, and those who are sometimes searching after knowledge of the absolute truth. So they have something in... can you go further? 7.16 we are in, Preeti. No, we finished all this. Yeah, finished. Go to the next. Preeti, can you go to the next?
Yes, Mataji, I'm going.
Um,
I think, just a minute. Yes, Mataji.
yes.
This one?
Yeah, 4 types of people who do surrender to Krishna. Okay.
Okay, Mataji.
No, who do not, we finished. Go to the next one. Who do
Surrender.
surrender. Okay. 4 types of people who do surrender. Okay, to Krishna. So this is Karma Mishra Bhaktas. That means first, Karma Mishra devotees means they have something, they're distressed. Okay, so they want something. And so they come to Krishna. Out of these, those who are sometimes distressed, those who are in need of money, there is also Sakama Karma, and those who are inquisitive, and there are examples for them. We'll see that also. These persons come to the Lord for devotional service under different conditions. These are not pure devotees because they have some aspiration to fulfill in exchange for devotional service. Pure devotional service is without aspiration and without desire for material profit. So that is what one should render transcendental loving service to the Supreme Lord Krishna favorably and without desire for material profit or gain through fruitive activities or philosophical speculation. That is called pure devotional service. So initially, everybody comes with some motive. Something. Some people are distressed, so they think, okay, let me fully, either they need peace of mind or they want something. So, as far as the miscreants are concerned, for them, devotional service is very difficult because their lives are selfish, irregular, and without spiritual goals. 3 things. They are selfish and they are indisciplined. So irregular and without spiritual goals. But even some of them, by chance, when they come in contact with a pure devotee, also become pure devotees. Those who are always busy with fruitive activities come to the Lord in material distress, and at that time associate with pure devotees and become in their distress devotees of the Lord. So those who are simply frustrated also come sometimes to associate with the pure devotees and become inquisitive to know about God. So similarly, when the dry philosophers are frustrated in every field of knowledge, they sometimes want to learn of God. So they are in knowledge. They know that this material world is not the thing and they are looking for something higher. But so then they finally come in search of God to learn more. On the whole, when the distressed, the inquisitive or seekers of knowledge, and those who are in need of money are free from all material desires, and when they fully understand that material remuneration has nothing to do with spiritual improvement, they become pure devotees. As long as such a purified stage is not attained, devotees in transcendental service to the Lord are tainted with fruitive activities, their search for mundane knowledge, etc. So one has to transcend all this before one can come to the stage of pure devotional service. So you can see how exalted it is. Now you have Sakama devotees. Um, these are all Sakama, the Sukritino, the four types of people who come to Krishna. So the example is the distressed person is Gajendra. Gajendra the elephant. Okay, so he was once caught by a crocodile. And when he went to drink water, and the crocodile just caught hold of his uh, feet. And the thing is, he had come with all of the sea elephants also. And for a long time, they also tried to, they tried to help also to pull him out. But then the crocodile's grip was very tight, wasn't letting him go. This went on for a long time. Elephant trying to pull and crocodile trying to pull. Went on for a very, so many days. And then the crocodile, nothing happened to it. It was not getting so much weak because it was in the water. But elephant, it was standing in the water, and it's a land animal. So it was feeling a little, tired, weaker and weaker. It's becoming weaker. And nobody could help him. At that time, then, because in the previous life he had been a great devotee, King Indradyumna, so he suddenly remembered about Krishna, and he just recited those slokas. Imagine, even in the elephant body, somehow Krishna in that extreme distress condition, because it's all stored in the mind. So it came in front of him, and the elephant actually started reciting those slokas, and Lord Krishna came from Vaikunta, and he sent the Sudarshana Chakra, and he cut off the crocodile's neck. And the crocodile also, he was cursed. He was not an ordinary person, but from the heavenly planets. And so when Krishna's Sudarshana disc cut his head, then he got back. He was cursed that you will remain a crocodile till Krishna comes and chops off your neck. So that is what he also got. He went back, and Gajendra, he went back to Krishna. So even though first he came, he took shelter of Krishna because he was distressed, but then he got purified and he went back with Krishna. Then desirer of wealth is Dhruva. He wanted the kingdom of his father, and so that was his motivation to pray to Krishna. But then once he saw Krishna in his heart, he thought, what was I looking for? Imagine, I got this diamond and I was looking for some glass pieces, broken glass pieces. So he didn't want anything. But Krishna said, no, you use it in my service. And he made him be the king. And then afterwards, he gave him Dhruvaloka until the end of this, because he had also desired that I should get a kingdom greater than my grandfather, that is Brahmaji. Now, greater than Brahma, what is that kingdom? The whole universe. No, not that Indradyumna, some other. So, this didn't happen in Kali Yuga. It's in the Bhagavatam story, which is, I suppose, in the Satya or Treta. It must be Satya Yuga. So, then Dhruva Maharaja, that is, he wanted wealth, but then when he saw Krishna, then he became a pure devotee. So he was, and the Dhruva Loka, he is there until the end of this universe. Then he'll go back to Godhead, to Krishna. So that is that. Then inquisitive is Saunaka Rishi. He is always asking questions. Right now, in the Bhagavatam, you'll see that Sukadeva Goswami is telling Parikshit. And that knowledge was listened to, that recitation was heard by Suta Goswami. So later on, when all the rishis met again in the beginning of Kali Yuga, Parikshit Maharaj so he listened to Bhagavatam almost at the end of Kali Yuga. Then in the beginning of Kali Yuga, all the sages met at Naimisaranya forest to actually do yajna for the sake of us. They wanted to do some pious, sacrifices and all that. But then what happened was the fire, no, it just got, there was only smoke because of the influence of Kali. So they decided to just glorify Krishna. This is the great thing for this age. So then Suta Goswami, because he had heard the Bhagavatam from Sukadeva Goswami, he was reciting. And in the audience, the head chief person of the audience was Saunaka Rishi. And he was very inquisitively asking so many questions. So he is the example of a rishi who was inquisitive. He was not yet a devotee. Then Nishkama devotees or Jnana Mishra or Yoga Mishra Bhaktas, that is the wise people seeking knowledge. Who are they? Like four Kumaras, Sukadeva Goswami, they were all impersonalists in the beginning. Four Kumaras also. And actually, they were wandering in the Brahmajyoti, and then they thought, let us go and go to Vaikunta and see. They were curious. So they went there, and when they smelt the tulsi, offered to the lotus feet of Vishnu, then that entered their nostrils and had a big change in their mind, and they became pure devotees. So they are the wise seeking knowledge. Initially, that is also contaminated. It has a motive. Then after that, they became uh, pure devotees, all magnanimous. So, okay, so that is what Krishna is saying. The four good types are the distressed, desirer. I mean, those who come to Krishna, distressed, desirer of wealth, inquisitive, and wise man. But or one seeking knowledge. Actually, all these people, there are so many people, even when they are distressed, they don't go to Krishna. So these are Sukritino. Only because they are pious, they are going to Krishna. There are so many people who are distressed. They would rather go and drink, alcohol, or take drugs, or just simply bash up everyone because they're so frustrated, but they won't go to the temple. So he's not talking of death. He's talking, these people are also pious because even though they're suffering, they're thinking of going to Krishna. And okay, in the next two verses, he will talk about what he thinks about these devotees who come to him when they are in distress. He says, of these, the one who is in full knowledge and who's always engaged in pure devotional service is the best. But I am very dear to him, and he is dear to me. So the wise person who's full of knowledge and who's always engaged in pure devotional service. Mm. And by searching after knowledge, one realizes that his self is different from his material body. And when further advanced, he comes to the knowledge of impersonal Brahman and Paramatma. When one is fully purified, so he is saying that such a devotee is the best of all. So in the preparatory stage, the man who is in full knowledge of the Supreme Lord and is at the same time executing devotional service is very dear to the Lord. So they are not yet fully pure, but they have full knowledge that they're not the body, and they're also rendering devotional service to the Lord. So such a person is the best among the four people. He who is situated in pure knowledge of the transcendence of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is so protected in devotional service that material contamination cannot touch him. So that is the highest, and we are aspiring to be like that. उदार सर्व एवैते ज्ञानीत्व आत्मैव मे मतम् आस्थित स हि युक्तात्मा mam evanuttamam gatim. All these devotees are undoubtedly magnanimous souls, but he who is situated in knowledge of me, I consider to be just like my own self. Being engaged in my transcendental service is sure to attain me the highest and most perfect goal. So he's saying that when can you completely surrender to him? When when you know that that your soul and you're part and parcel of Krishna. And so Krishna considers that person just like himself. In quality, we are same as Krishna. I consider to be just like my own self. Being engaged in my transcendental service is sure to attain me the highest and most perfect goal. So but Krishna is saying all these devotees are undoubtedly magnanimous souls. But he who is situated in knowledge of me, so that is what he's making a distinction. Um, that all of them are magnanimous because they come to him. Because anyone who comes to the Lord for any purpose is called a Mahatma, just by approaching Krishna itself. Because otherwise, if the Atma is Duratma, it doesn't feel like going to Krishna. So the devotees who want some benefit out of devotional service are accepted by the Lord because there is an exchange of affection. Out of affection, they ask the Lord for some material benefit. And when they get it, they become so satisfied that they also advance in devotional service. But the devotee in full knowledge is considered to be very dear to the Lord because his only purpose is to serve the Supreme Lord with love and devotion. Such a devotee cannot live a second without contacting or serving the Supreme Lord. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is very fond of his devotee and cannot be separated from him. And in the Srimad Bhagavatam, the Lord says, 9.4.68, ninth canto, Sadhavo hridayam mahyam, sadhunam hridayam tvaham, mad anyattena jananti, naham tebhyo managapi. The devotees are always in my heart, and I'm always in the hearts of the devotees. The devotee does not know anything beyond me, and I also cannot forget the devotee. There is a very intimate relationship between me and the pure devotees. Pure devotees in full knowledge are never out of spiritual touch, and therefore they are very much dear to me. Mad anyat tena jananti. They don't know anything beyond me. Naham tebyo manag api. I also don't cannot forget the devotee. So that is uh, you know, so because the Lord is very such a devotee, but the devotee, so everybody is magnanimous and Krishna, they are dear, but the devotee in full knowledge is considered to be very dear to the Lord because his only purpose is to serve the Supreme Lord with love and devotion. Such a devotee cannot live a second without contacting or serving the Supreme Lord. Similarly, the Supreme Lord is very fond of his devotee and cannot be separated from him. So, this is the original nature of the soul that is completely sold out to the Lord, cannot live for a moment, for a second without the Lord. And now, so many distractions are taken up our consciousness, and even the by the other people that is distressed, desired, and all are not considered good enough because they have something other than Krishna as a goal. That's why. Then Krishna says, who becomes a pure devotee? Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan mam prapadyate vasudeva sarvamiti sa mahatma sudurlabha. So, how long does it take to become a pure devotee? He's saying, after many births and deaths, he who's actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. So it takes normally Jnanavan, a Jnani who's searching for the truth. He has to take many births of purification before he can surrender to the Lord. This is for the Jnani. After many births and deaths, he who is actually in knowledge surrenders unto me, knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. Such a great soul is very rare. But in this age, by Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's mercy, we don't have to go through all this tedious process because immediately we get bhakti. Just chant Hare Krishna and we'll be elevated to bhakti, whatever may be, we may be. We may be a Mudha, we may be one of the Dushkritinas or Sukritinas, anything doesn't matter. Maybe if we are a Dushkritina, it may take a little longer, but it also depends upon our surrender. See, bhakti is on a transcendental platform. What we do with our karma, that is temporary. And but the soul, at any given time, the soul might suddenly decide, what am I doing here in this mad world? I will surrender to Krishna. And he really tries hard to reach Krishna, and he might go fast, even though he was a Dushkritino. So it doesn't matter whether we are, and somebody may be very Brahmana, very pure Brahmana, and he follows all the rules and regulations, but his soul may be still holding back. He wants his independence. He doesn't want to surrender to Krishna. So that is, a soul you cannot predict. We have free will, and Krishna has given any time we can just change completely. You don't have to suffer all the results of all your reactions, or you don't have to slowly get knowledge every birth after birth and finally surrender to him. No, because Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is directly giving us bhakti by chanting Hare Krishna mantra. That is the speciality. It's so amazing that in this life only we can aspire to go back to God, and because of that, only we have to desire, that's all. Then all our previous karmas, everything, or maybe we have mudas, we came only because of desiring some, because we were distressed or desiring money or whatever it is, doesn't matter. The minute you understand Krishna's, and once you come here, you'll read Bhagavad Gita, Bhagavatam, you'll chant Hare Krishna, and you'll hear about pure devotional service, and you can decide, no, I don't want. I mean, this is, I've been suffering so much. Why I should continue this? Let me surrender to Krishna, and then you can be elevated. So, in the body of a living being, neither the power to speak, nor the power to see, nor the power to hear, nor the power to think is the prime factor. It is life which is the center of all activities. Similarly, Lord Vasudeva, the personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, is the prime entity in everything. Just like in this body, soul is the most important, right? Not the tongue or the eye or the nose or the ears, which are performing so many activities for us. The soul is the most important. Without the soul, the body cannot even function. Similarly, Vasudeva, or the personality of Godhead, Lord Krishna, is a prime entity in everything. So that is why saying in this body, there are powers of speaking, of seeing, of hearing, of mental activities, etc. But these are not important if not related to the Supreme Lord. And because Vasudeva is all pervading and everything is in Vasudeva, the devotee surrenders in full knowledge. So we need to know that, because, of course, it all depends. See, Krishna is setting a paper for each person. Okay. It's like, it's not the same question paper for everyone. Even we're all in the same material world. We're all human beings on the same earth, maybe same city, same block also, or same family even. And still, each one has to write his own question paper with Krishna. And he knows what questions to give each person. So we'll be able to, according to our capacity only, he will test. He'll not give some very difficult question when you're just, beginning. No. So we don't have to worry. And he may be giving grace marks to someone and making them pass. I mean, step by step, that is. He may be not be too strict for someone. For someone, he might be very, very strict. And we might think, what is this, Krishna? This devotee is serving you so much and you're punishing him like anything. But he's purifying him and to take him back fast to Godhead. So what he does, we don't know. Krishna is working behind the scenes, but he knows how to purify everyone. And so that is why all these activities and all that we are doing, it's not important if it is not connected with Krishna. So because Vasudeva is everywhere and everything is in Vasudeva, he surrenders completely. What about devotees who do Abhishekam, Alankaram, Naivedyam for him? That is also devotional service. It is not the activity per se, it is the motivation that is the key factor. What is your motive in doing that? Are you doing all that thinking that, oh, Krishna, please take care of me, make me, my good health, my family, my wealth, and my everything? That all should be nice. Krishna, don't touch all that, please. So then, okay, it is like, okay, with karma mishra bhakta. That means you have material desires, sakama bhaktas, like even the demigods, right? They have some desire for enjoyment. They are devotees. They have affection for Krishna. They glorify him, but they also want this some material benefit. So that's okay. But then that's not on the topmost, because that's not based on complete knowledge.
Yes, Mataji.
Okay. Pure devotee is rare. Sa Mahatma Sudurlabha. Pure devotees is rare. Such a great soul is very rare. So pure devotees are very, very rare. Mahatma understands him as the cause, understands Krishna as the cause of all causes. That's why he is able to surrender. Why is he a Mahatma? Because a Jnani or intelligent person understands Krishna, and what is his understanding? Knowing me to be the cause of all causes and all that is. He is the cause. We put attributes on other. We see the immediate causes. Somebody does something to us, and then what do we see? That person did. We get angry with him, and we want to punish him. But who's making him do that? That is Krishna. So person who has the remote control only has to you have to look at him, not the person who's doing something at somebody else's behest. So a Mahatma sees in every circumstance the hand of God, so he doesn't get angry with anybody, nor is he affected. Okay, Krishna. And who's Krishna? My friend. And he'll only do whatever is good for me. So he's fully surrenders. That's what. Cause of all causes and all. That is such a great soul is very rare. So if everybody knows Krishna, they can also surrender. But they are not. You must be ready to accept whatever Krishna is giving due to material attachment. We are afraid to surrender. Oh, Krishna, don't touch that area, please. We are attached. So that's why. Uh, that the, the living entity, while executing devotional service or transcendental rituals after many, many births, may actually become situated in transcendental pure knowledge that the Supreme Personality of Godhead is the ultimate goal of spiritual realization. In the beginning of spiritual realization, while one is trying to give up one's attachment to materialism, there is some leaning towards impersonalism. But when one is further advanced, he can understand that there are activities in the spiritual life and that these activities constitute devotional service. So, why are some people impersonal? Because they think that whenever I act, I act because of I want some sense gratification. So I'll stop all action so that I won't gratify myself. So in the beginning, because of attachment, see, for example, we may have friends who are too materialistic. So what do? We stop going with them. But when we advance, we think, okay, there are other people, devotees, who can be friends with them and they are worshipping Krishna. So it's not that you should not have any friends. You don't have friends who take you away from spiritual life. So impersonalism, in the beginning, because you are attached to something, so you give it up because you're not able to control. But then when you become purified, then the same material thing, you'll use it in Krishna service and not be disturbed. It's not that you have to shun this spiritual and even outside material world also. As we progress, we'll think, we are not disturbed. Somebody is doing something all nonsense. It's okay. We feel compassion and we want to also somehow give Krishna consciousness. So it's not that we reject anybody or become reclusive and say, oh, whole world is Maya and all that. That is in the beginning because you feel disturbed. Oh, I might get again attached to all that. So I won't go. But afterwards, then you have proper engagement and you have proper friends, then you'll feel compassionate on your old friends and people, oh, they are doing nonsense. Okay, I'll just go talk to them and try to slowly entice them to, or give them whatever they can take in Krishna consciousness. So, like that, in the beginning, we are a little impersonal, and then later we become more personal. He becomes attached to the Supreme Personality of Godhead and surrenders to Him. At such a time, one can understand that Lord Krishna's mercy is everything, that He is the cause of all causes, and that this material manifestation is not independent from Him. Because we don't understand, sometimes we think, how can this be? Why will Krishna do like this? And we go and break our heads, try to fight, do that. And Krishna allows. It's not that that's what, for every time he doesn't do the same thing. He knows how to handle each devotee. So we don't have to worry. Different devotees' life are so different, right? So many pastimes we see. So when you're distressed or desire of wealth, it's okay to approach Krishna. And then we get purified. because we have come to Krishna, gradually we get purified. If you start doing devotional service, then you also, everybody can get purified and go back to Godhead. So, but then we should want to become purified. If you think that this is a nice proposition, ah, I'll worship Krishna, but I'll keep on demanding all sorts of things, then we'll be stuck here only. And we might even fall down from devotional service because we are more attached to material things than Krishna. Because Krishna will test, Maya will test. She'll give us some very big thing, which will become so enticed, and then we'll forget Krishna. Oh, I'm so happy now. Okay, Krishna, I'll think of later. So that's why okay, even if you have an attachment, you should use it in Krishna's service and think of Krishna, when you're dovetailing it, so that you think of Krishna and don't get, so that our consciousness keeps getting polluted and not degraded. And because Vasudeva is all pervading and everything is Vasudeva, the devotee surrenders in full knowledge. That is when you can not be disturbed, because everything is resting on him and he is everywhere. And he's your well-wishing friend. These three things, when we understand, no more distress, peace of mind. Okay, text 20. Kamaistaistair Krishna promoting the faith. Okay, now text 20, talking about other types of devotees, Sakama devotees. No, they're not devotees, but they're also worshipping. They're not worshipping Krishna. He talked about Mishra Bhaktas of Krishna. Now, there are other people who worship, but not to Krishna. So, he's saying, Kamaistaistair Hritagnyana Prapadyante Anya Devata Tam Tam Niyamam Astaya Prakritya Niyata Swaya. Those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires surrender unto demigods and follow the particular rules and regulations of worship according to their own natures. So at least the ones who go to Krishna for fulfilling their material desires, they are in a better situation. Krishna says, even if you have desires, come to me, because he will purify. But if you go to Devtas, you won't get purified. You will get what you want. Also, you will get purified, but it is ultimately you have to go to Krishna. So it takes some time in order to reach Krishna. See, those who are freed from all material contamination surrender unto the Supreme Lord and engage in his devotional service. As long as the material contamination is not completely washed off, they are by nature non-devotees. But even those who have material desires and who resort to the Supreme Lord are not so much attracted by external nature because of approaching the right goal. They soon become free from all material lust. So that is why even whatever material desires we have, if you go to Krishna, it's okay, because you'll become free, because Krishna is so pure. Uh, so as stated in the Bhagavatam 2.3.10, Akama sarva kamo va moksha kama udaradi tivrena bhakti yogena yajeta purusham param. So what does that mean? Even if you're akama, that means without any desires, material desires, sarva kamo, you have a lot of material desires. Moksha kama, you just want to be a jnani and be liberated, whatever it may be. If you tivrena bhakti yogena, if all of these people do bhakti, yajeta purusham param, everybody will go back to the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So that is why but here it is said, those whose intelligence has been stolen by material desires. Less intelligent people have lost their spiritual sense, take shelter of devatas for immediate fulfillment of material desires. Generally, such people do not go to the Supreme Personality of Godhead because they are in the lower modes of nature, ignorance and passion. Therefore, worship various demigods. Following the rules and regulations of worship, they are satisfied. The worshippers of demigods are motivated by small desires and do not know how to reach the supreme goal. But a devotee of the Supreme Lord is not misguided So that is the difference. So those who are not devotees of the Lord think that for certain purposes, demigods are better than the Supreme Lord. But a pure devotee knows that the Supreme Lord Krishna is the master of all. Therefore, a pure devotee never goes to the demigod for satisfaction of his material needs. He depends on the Supreme Lord, and the pure devotee is satisfied with whatever he gives. So the devatas, it's not that we disrespect, pure devotees following the pure devotional path. Do not um, this thing. Disrespect the devatas, or that, oh, I won't visit the temple, or I will not look, pay obeisances. No, no, not like that. We really, because they're part of Krishna and they're doing, representing him, and for, elevating people, they are great exalted beings. So we, but we can pray to them, please, when we pay obeisances, please increase my bhakti. They're also Vaishnavas. So that way we can think that they are part of Krishna only. And so as they are Vaishnavas, so we beg them, please help me so that I can become a devotee. But those who go to them for material desires, they are the ones calling less intelligent, because they're not interested in the ultimate spiritual goal, but they simply want to enjoy. And then that is enough. I just go to the Devata, I do bake 100 coconuts, I get the job finished. That's all. Okay, maybe you also worship him at home and all that, but it's mainly that make sure that my material life is very nice. That's the only interest, not more than that. So that is what we saw. Now he talked about all these different types. Then he'll talk about the Paramatma realization. Ah, now he's going to talk about how people develop faith in the Devata, Krishna, because it is only Krishna who makes that faith also. Gives us that faith also, because everything is Krishna. Yeah, Vasudevam Sarvamiti. That means even our worshipping the Devatas is controlled by him. Everything is Krishna. So the Devatas also, he will show the Vishwarupa. In the 11th chapter, we see Krishna is showing the Vishwarupa in which all the Devatas are in his body. So everything, even our Devata worship, Krishna is only making it happen, because he thinks that, this person is not ready to worship me. Mataji, when Navagrahas are Devatas. Yes, Navagrahas are Devatas, planets, all of them, Surya, Chandra. We don't worship Indra and the this thing. Indra is worshipped in the Yajnas. But Navagrahas, because they affect the planets, they affect our, astrologically, they affect our star. And so that is why we worship Shani or Rahu, Ketu, because where they give some trouble, then they are advised to go and worship them. Or generally also Surya, Chandra, and Brihaspati. I mean, depending on sometimes the positioning of our, the time of our birth, our star in conjunction with the other, where this thing, planets are placed in different houses and all that. So according to that, we are advised to worship the Navagrahas. But that is also Devata worship only. One, because all of them are part of Krishna only. So when you take shelter of Krishna, even all the Devatas, they are also controlled by Krishna, right? So we don't have to worry. That's why, because we have to make the goal that in this life, I have to make my life perfect. I have to know who I really am. And, and then who's really God, and I should engage in spiritual Krishna consciousness. And to make that work very simple and easy, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us Hare Krishna mantra. As you chant, you'll see every month or every day, even you'll realize I'm making some progress. I'm not the same as I was yesterday, right? I'm not the same as I was a week ago. I'm feeling some connection with nature, or you may get less angry. You may become a little peaceful. That depends on your chanting. When you start regularly chanting, you'll see that how
Yes,
it is
Mataji.
helping. Yes, who wants to share? Who said yes? Oh, what
I
about
said
who?
yes, Mataji.
Purvika.
Yes, Mataji. I said I was listening to you, so that time I said yes, Mataji.
Okay. Okay. So, anybody wants to share what they feel? I mean, how Hare Krishna has helped them to realize that, I mean, about this world, about themselves, about Krishna, anything? Yeah, okay. All right. Utkashni Mataji, you have some quiz questions? Please, okay. Purvika is going to Jagannath Puri. Okay, may you have a wonderful trip and have a nice darshan of Jagannath and visit all those other wonderful places, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's Leela places, and yeah, all the other temples also, Gundicha, so beautiful, Jagannath Puri.
Thank you so much, Mataji. Hare Krishna,
nice
Dhanvat Pranam.
You're only going to Puri?
This is my first visit to Mataji. We don't know anything about that place. We only know it's Krishna temple. That's it.
No, you're going with some devotees.
No, Mataji. I'm going with my family, my mother, my grandmother, my uncle.
Okay. No, because I thought maybe you're combining with Mayapur or something. You've not been to Mayapur, right?
No, Mataji.
Okay, next time you can go there.
Yes, Mataji.
Yeah, maybe you can go with the devotees also. We'll be planning.
Thank you so much, Mataji.
Okay, Utkashni, Mataji, do you have some questions?
Yes, Mataji.
Mataji, Hare Krishna, Dandavat Pranam. Sorry to interrupt, Mataji. Mataji, actually, to whom we can serve, Mataji, is that if our service, or else if we are ignored, is that our humbleness, or else how to take that ignorance to us, Mataji? To whom we have to serve? To whom we have to serve? If we are ignored there, yes, Mataji. Seva, some seva.
Seva.
Yes,
Yeah,
Mataji.
seva. See, there is so many sevas to Krishna, like the deities or some festival. So you can start doing that. Where do you live?
I live in Ballari, Mataji.
Oh, Ballari. Who's asking?
Rajesh.
I'm Rajeshwari.
Rajeshwari. Okay. Yeah. Are you coming this Janmashtami to Kormangala's this thing for a Janmashtami program?
No, Mataji. I have children, Mataji.
You have this thing, Janmashtami celebration there and anything there in Bellary?
Mataji, here HKM center is there, Mataji. Hare Krishna movement. Srila Prabhupada Hare Krishna movement is there, Mataji. We don't have ISKCON at Ballari.
Then what are you planning to do? You'll go there?
Yes, Mataji, I go there and I don't take their association actually, but I get Krishna's darshan and Prabhupada darshan, Mataji. That's it.
Okay, you never come to Bangalore?
No, Mataji.
Okay. All right. Rajeshwari, okay. So you can do services. See what you're doing for Krishna, and when you're serving for what services are happening in the temple, like that. Now, see, we have Janmashtami. So if you want to do something, some seva, because we have different sevas for the Lord. If you want to contribute something like that, different sevas in your house also, you can have an altar, and you can do regular worship, offer food, cook food and offer to the Lord. All that is seva. Okay, that is seva. And then you can also serve Vaishnavas, whenever they come, I mean, you can invite some Vaishnavas to come and make some prasadam and serve them, those sort of sevas. Basically, Vaishnavas are also always serving Krishna. So if you ask, please give me some service, then you'll get some service to do. Even staying there, for example, depends on what seva you like to do. Like you like to transcribe some lectures, or if you're good in making presentations, depends what kind of seva, something connected with Krishna's service, you can volunteer. Okay,
Yes.
that we'll talk separately.
Yeah, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Thank you so much. Hare Krishna. Dandat Pranam, Mataji.
Yeah, then. Yes, Utkarshini Mataji, you want to ask some questions?
Yeah, just one,
Thank you.
some very few I'll ask. Mataji. It's already time. Okay. Which are the 4 types of people who go to the Lord? And who is the best among the 4?
Can I try, Mataji?
Yes, please.
The 4 types of people who surrender to Lord Krishna are distressed people, who desire for wealth, those who are inquisitive, and who are searching for knowledge of absolute. And the example for distressed is like Gajendra. Desirer for wealth are like Dhruva Maharaj. The inquisitive is like Shaunaka Rishi. And searching for knowledge is like the 4 Kumaras and Shukadeva Goswami. They come under Nishkama devotees, Mataji, Jnana Mishra.
Yes, very good.
Mataji, searching for absolute truth, I think even Dhruv Maharaj desired, Narad Muni only guided him, right?
No, he went to Narad Muni, but Narad Muni, he told him, what do you want, my child? Why have you come to the forest? He said that I want the kingdom. That is why. And Narad Muni said, this is not the age, you're a small child, go home. When you're older, you come. He said, no, I want that. So he was asking for that very clearly. He asked the Guru, but he had that desire.
Okay, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Mataji.
Hare Krishna.
So we are telling Dhruva. Dhruva is now Dhruva Nakshatra is there, right? He is Dhruva. Then
Yeah.
what is my question now? So God didn't give entry to Goloka Vaikunta to him because
No,
he
no, no.
desired.
He has. See, he told him in all respects he fulfilled. What he said was, because you wanted to be the king, you be the king here also on the earth. And then he told him that at the end of your life, then in this material universe, because he had desired that he should have the best kingdom. So the best kingdom is Dhruva Loka because it's transcendental. Even Brahmaloka is because, and not only it's a transcendental. It will not be destroyed when all of the planets are destroyed. Even Brahmaloka is destroyed of Brahma, whereas Dhruvaloka will never be destroyed. So you get a better kingdom than even Lord Brahma. So you be there till the end of this universe. Our day of Brahma ends. Then what happens? The whole universe is destroyed and it goes into the body of Vishnu. At that time, Dhruvaloka, so Dhruvaloka also won't be manifest at that time, though it's eternal planet. So that time, Dhruva Maharaja will go to Vaikunta. So in all ways, he fulfilled him.
Yes, Mataji. Thank you,
Mataji. Did you mention who is the best among the 4 people?
Yeah.
No, Mataji, sorry. Like he's Jnani, the most intelligent people among the people. So he's called Mahatma, and the person surrenders to Krishna after so many births. He's a very rare birth, Mataji. He understands Krishna is the causes of all causes.
Yes. Thank you, sir. Yeah.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
What does the Lord say about the pure devotees? It's in the 18th shloka. So nicely the Lord has. It's a Bhagavata
All
shloka.
these devotees are undoubtedly magnanimous souls. So he's situated in knowledge of Krishna and always engaged in transcendental service.
Yeah, in the 18th shloka, Sadhavo Hridayam Mahyam, Mataji told.
What does Krishna say about the pure devotee? Where is he?
Pure
What is he?
devotee. Pure
Is all-
devotee is always in my heart, and I am there. I am with there. I'll be there in pure devotee's heart. I resides in pure devotee's heart. I
Yes.
think.
Yeah, and with this thing, the pure devotee does not know anything but me, and I also am always. I cannot forget my devotee.
And those who do transcendental service to Krishna, he always attains him. Am I right, Mataji?
What those who do transcendental service?
They will attain Krishna's planet.
Yes.
Mataji, among the 4 people, she said Gnani, no?
Mm.
The best among. Okay. So,
Yeah. Artho
Art-
Jignasu Arthartho Jnani.
Gnani. Okay. Yeah, that's Mahatma. Okay, in this,
Mataji,
No,
here
no,
Gnani
he is
means
not the Mahatma. Mahatma
Mahatma
is
is the
one
who
who's a
surrenders.
jnani, but is started to render devotional service. So he surrenders to Krishna. Bahunam janmanam ante jnanavan. The jnani, he realizes that Vasudevam sarvamiti sa Mahatma sudurlabha. So jnani becomes a devotee. Then he becomes the best.
Okay, that was my next question. In this context, who are considered as Mahatma? So you explained it, Mataji. Okay, and then why are few people devotees and few people are impersonal? Impersonalist.
because of their Pura Janma Sukruti and less knowledge about Krishna.
Associate.
No.
In the last, Mataji was explaining this. Can anyone else try, please?
Mataji, what is the question, Mataji?
Why are few people
Mm-hmm.
personalist?
Okay. Because they surrender to, for material desires, they surrender to demigods, Mataji.
Correct, no, Mataji, Hare Krishna.
Why are some people? What was your question?
I said you were explaining in the last Mataji. You were telling why are few people impersonalist?
No, that is not the reason. Why they are impersonalists? Because in the beginning of devotional service, people turn to impersonalism in the beginning because there's too much attached to material things. So they cannot understand Krishna. So they think spiritual life is opposite of material. So they try to give up material.
Just give up material. That's all.
Just give up material because, yeah.
They go to surrender to Lord and they don't do the devotion. Okay. Yes,
Mataji, after some time, can you please guide us how to balance material and spiritual things, Mataji? How to balance this life? Can you please guide about this? After some times, Mataji.
Yeah. Okay.
Maybe Monday she will do it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, Mataji. We'll wait. No problem, Mataji. Thank you.
Okay.
When I keep having that question in my mind, Mataji, that spiritual life, material life, it has to be steady, balanced. Now, how to do that?
Yeah, we'll discuss that. Okay.
One last question. Actually, it was in the beginning only. It's very simple. There are 2 places where Bhagavatam was said and heard, and to whom who was a speaker, who was a listener in the 2 places. Can anyone see that?
Parshit Maharaj and Sukadeva Goswami, and another place is Kailasam where Parvati and Lord Shiva discussed about this. I think maybe correct.
Jaunakarichi
That-
and
So Mataji explained this during
Jaunakarichi Mataji,
yeah, please tell.
Yuta Goswami.
Yes, Suta Goswami at Naimisaranya. Yes. The other one was spoken in the banks of Yamuna. Parikshit Maharaj, no? Sukadeva Goswami on the banks of Yamuna.
At the end of this one, Mataji.
Yeah, almost at the end of Dwapara Yuga.
Dwapara Yuga.
This Suta Goswami to Shaunaka was the beginning of
Naimisharanyam Mataji.
Yes.
Hare Krishna.
And Lord Shiva also told to Parvati, what about this pastime, Mataji?
That, yeah. So many people, so many people are listening to Bhagavatam, na? But initially, I mean, this is the most for everyone, for everybody's benefit. In the beginning, happened because of these two, Sukadeva Goswami and Suta Goswami. Sukadeva Goswami, Krishna wanted Bhagavatam to be spoken so that it will be beneficial for everyone. That is why he made Parikshit Maharaj be the, because he is the emperor of the world. And if Sukadeva Goswami is coming all the way to explain to him, and Krishna wanted such a great devotee to be the listener because he'll ask the right questions. And because of that, the whole world will benefit. And then again, in the beginning, it is for the benefit of all the people of Kali Yuga that they were discussing the Bhagavatam. That is why these two are the most important. Of course, all great souls keep reciting Bhagavatam. So Shiva was just telling Parvati, but that was not for just at that time. I mean, of course, Shiva is also greatest of Vaishnavas, but here these two, because they are meant for us, Kali Yuga.
Okay, Mataji. Thank you, Mataji. Yes, thank you so much, Mataji.
all Mataji. Thank you so much.
Okay, so we'll chant and then we'll come to a close. Yeah, Sri Krishna Chaitanya